Good evening, everyone. Please subscribe as you come in. And don't forget to like and share my channel. It is fairly new. BMF Entertainment TV. Thank you. Now I'm sitting here and I was just thinking, the people who love Vybz Kartel, there are people who are infatuated by him. There are people who hate him. I'm sure they have their personal reasons. And there are people like myself. I am an admirer of Vybz Kartel, and I've heard of him. I heard of him from way back when, but I just became a fan and an admirer since his release in July of 2024, and I watch him closely. I watch everything that he posts, and I do not miss a day of it. And when you look at this man, you sort of, I know what it is I like about him. Okay, sometimes I watch, especially when he travels to the islands to do shows. I see he invite certain people along with his manager and his road manager, his sons and so on. But they're females that are always there with him. I don't see them performing. I don't know why they're there, okay? But they have a reputation. So if you know who I'm speaking of, then you know and hear of their reputation. I guess everyone has a reputation. Everyone has a past or present. And whatever their future is, I have no clue. But I don't know if these people are there because Cartel need them there. They're not stylists. I see the stylists when he's doing shows. They bring in all the clothes, for him to choose from and all that. That I see. Okay, but these other women, I have no idea why they're there. They sit in his lap. They bend over backwards for him to do stuff with them. Everything is on camera. No, they're not in the nude. They're not naked. But it's just a little bit much for a gentleman. Yes, we know he's an artist. He's popular. He's friendly. Unlike some other artists, they don't want anybody around. It's just them and their team, and that's it. Okay, their real team. Not just hangers on, not just people who are there looking for a handout because they don't work. All they do is they're on TikTok every day begging money. But Vybz Kartel, I guess right now he's a money tree. And so you see all these women flock to him. And I should mind my own business, like I've said in the past. All of us need to mind our own business and come out of his personal life. But yes, I do. We're as a woman or as women, we wonder what really goes on there. What goes on when the camera is off with these women. Because like I said, they don't serve any purpose as far as I can see. I really, he has room service wherever he goes. He doesn't have shoes to be polished and shine. What are they there for? Are they there to lay his clothes out? Like I said, he has people for that. So, it's his fiancee I'm more concerned about. Yeah, she's easygoing and everything, but I sort of wonder if people are just disrespecting her. And, they know the whole story of her, who she is, how she came about. And, Vybz Kartel will come to the public and say, I love her, I don't know, I love her so much. He just showers her with gifts, very expensive gifts. The last one was a Cybertruck. So, yeah, but you just sort of wonder how she feels. The first trip he took was to Panama. She was there, but then when he went to Trinidad, he took another woman with him. She's very popular also. I think she's in the music industry. It was just so much. It's just too much. We see too much. And maybe we're assuming, maybe there's nothing between them. Well, as far as this particular young lady that went to Trinidad, we watched her coming through the airport with an off-the-shoulder blouse, no hickeys. The following day, or the day or 2 days after, her neck was all over, hickey all over her neck and her chest and her shoulders. And she posts something on Instagram on her page, and she took it down right away, but so many of us saw it. She was lounging in his lap, practically naked on the patio and everything. We saw breakfast in his room, breakfast for two, and things like that. We saw underwear on the floor in the bedroom. They just like put everything on camera and without maybe cleaning up or double checking. So yeah, Carter is who he is. His past, we all hear and know of it, and the women in his life from back then, whether they had children or they were just girls that he was involved with, sexually. Because I don't know that he loved any of these women, you know. Yeah, you with a man, a child comes, he support you and the child, there's enough money to live, and and survive off of. So you just like stick around and be there, and everybody can say this is Vybz Kartel's baby's mother, and so on and so forth. And he loves his children. Don't get me wrong, you could see that he loves all his children, and he treats them equally. Okay, there's nobody hungry or homeless. Thank God, no one who doesn't have shelter and food and clothing and money. He takes care of all of them, but yeah, like I said, it is personal, and maybe I shouldn't go there because maybe what we see is really not what's going on. My concern is for see them, and people would say, well, see them don't see them. Well, I beg to differ. I believe she sees them, and I believe at times when he comes home, she's normal, regular woman would say, especially if you see marks on his body like hickeys and whatever, women having a good time with his body because, he can afford it. He can afford it. He can afford them to buy them the best clothing, have monies, for trips and what have you. So that part of his life, yes, again, I said, I know it is personal, but that, I look deeper, and maybe I shouldn't. But yes, he's a man. He's a man. He's an artist. He's always on the go. Sidem is not always there with him. And men have needs. Yeah, they have needs, sexual needs. And sometimes when they have these freaky women around them, because they are freaks, they say it themselves. They speak how deep their throat is and all that sort of thing. And they like to be with other people's men. They put it out there, as plain as day. I'm not making this up. You could go back and watch videos and what have you, and you can hear them speaking on that. Okay, they all seem to want to be artists, or they are artists, but you don't see them doing anything. They're not performing anywhere. They're not making any songs. They're just hanging on to Vybz Kartel. Well, Vybz Kartel, I'm hoping that you are smart, and whatever goes on, should you be cheating, hopefully that you're not. You say you're one burner, okay? Whatever you say, sir. You just be careful. That's all I can say. When he first came out, I'm not speaking to him directly, I'm saying, when he first came out, I would always make comments and let him know that the world today, as he left it 13 years ago, has changed. Women will, especially women with their phones, they'll take pictures of everything. They'll videotape everything that goes on with you and them. You keep saying it a tape. Yes, it is taping, but sometimes you don't even realize that it is taping. And I always ask that when you hug someone for a picture, raise your hand a little higher above their behind. Okay, so no one can say that you sexually assaulted them or anything. So I am always concerned about him. He's very friendly. He doesn't ignore people. Yeah, he might ignore people who say bad things about him, but in public, if someone wants to take a picture, he's ready. Okay, and he likes putting his arms around women. And I always hope that no one will blackmail him, or try to scam him or whatever. Whatever. I really hope that he know what he's doing, and that his managers around him, they're not yes men and yes women. The people around him, that he surrounds himself with good people, positive people, and people who can say, no, Cartel, don't do this, don't go there, beware. So that is my concern for Vibes Cartel, that he knows what he's doing, and he knows who to be around him. And how does he even know if people are really genuine? You don't know. It's all about money right now, Cartel. Okay, you are around people who don't have a job. I want you to think about that. They're happy to run to the islands, meet up with you. They don't work anywhere. They're always available. All right, so I would like, I'm speaking like I'm speaking to him directly, but I would like for you maybe to just ease up a little bit, and don't have people sitting in your lap and be all over you. And you are engaged to be married. At some point in time, you're gonna have to take this thing a little bit more serious, so people can respect them and respect you and your space also. And if that doesn't happen, well, whatever happens, happens. Yes, I know you have the best lawyers and you have your money and you can do this and you can do that. But don't trust these women. Don't trust them. Okay? Don't trust these Jezebels, because that's what they are. Yes. Anyway, I've said my piece. I hope I haven't offended anyone. But if you are in the media, every day you see and know Cartel move, whatever he puts out there on social media, we see him and we see these